So, hi, you guys. Welcome.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for being here and giving your input on your journey with your son's diagnosis. So, if you could tell us a little bit about what you guys went through.
Well, thanks for having us. I'm Cynthia. This is my husband,
Al.
and this is our baby, Albert.
Yay, Albert.
This is Alec has the diagnosis of autism. This is our baby, so he's been helping out a lot with bridging playtime and so forth. But to start from the beginning, we went to a typical checkup, and Alec wasn't responding, and the doctor said, we should flag him for autism, and it was really shocking because we didn't know. And once we did that, they sent us to early intervention, and early intervention flagged him as well. And we started with that journey of people coming into our lives, telling us about our son, behavior-wise, where he needs to be. And it was a long journey, kind of shocking. Then we realized, wow, we see huge changes in him. This might work. And then we got our ABA team the minute early intervention left. ABA came in the next day.
Early intervention ends for everybody at 2, right? Once you're
three.
3, right, 2 to 3. Once you're 3, you're out.
Yeah, so you have to find services elsewhere. That's a good point. So when ABA came in, it was such a layer of what early intervention showed us. So for me as a mom, if I hadn't had early intervention, I don't think I could appreciate how ABA came in and just went off and took Alec.
Yeah, it was
a
great step right into it.
A good transition. Because it's all about the behavior. So for him to sit there and say now he's got to sit in a chair and he's got to attend, it was hard because they had to come in and sit with him and wrap their arms around him and have him sit in a chair. And for him to understand that was different. But if I didn't have the early intervention, I couldn't appreciate what they were trying to do. And after I think it was an hour, came back, he was sitting. And I was like, wow, okay, let's do this. It's an everyday thing. It doesn't end for us. The tutors do this. We try and learn to follow through. And I think the more involved you get as a family, not just dad, baby, everyone.
Team effort.
It's all about team because then we all feed off of each other because with one behavior, it changes the whole dynamics of our family.
And everybody brings a different perspective, different attitude, different energy, and it really makes a good balance.
It does make a good balance. So having gone through all that, Alec is now going to be 8 this month. He's a twin. His twin sister is typical. She brings so much to us. It helps us have a perspective of what she's experiencing and what he's experiencing. And it's a marry of all these behaviors. So she'll come in and say, no, Alec, do this. And it really was amazing to see that because I thought, wow, all this time, energy, money we're spending. My daughter's just doing it on her own. And now she's saying, I need to help my brother.
Yeah, she has stepped up.
I was like, okay, this is so worth it. It's been hard. It's been long. It's been tough. But to see Alec talking, walking, fighting with me, fighting with his dad. I was like,
he bartered. It's
Don't
amazing.
call me when he says no all the time.
Yeah, it's been crazy. He wanted to go over there and play. And I said, no, mommy's got to watch you and your sister and your brother. And I said, what do you want? He goes, I want my book. I said, okay. He goes, but I want to play with it in there. I said, no, you can't do that. And then I said, what book do you want? I said, show me. And he brought me in. He goes, I want Polar Bear. And I went, okay. I go, can we play with Polar Bear out here? He goes, yes, mommy. But the fact that he was able to communicate his wants, his needs, his desires, but in a way that I saw personality, I saw a person. I was like, okay, this was worth all this time. And it's taken years to get here. But to see the foundation set for him, to know that, wow, maybe he can have an independent life. He's got the makings of doing it. It's worth every second.
Excellent.
Start and go.
So, would you like to tell us about how you first got a diagnosis for your son?
Run.
Okay. Well, we went to just a well check, and we had our twins. And when we went in, the twins weren't responding to the doctor. He was cracking jokes. He was trying to get the kids to look at him, and they didn't. And it was just there for, what was their checkup? How many months?
They were 18 months or something like that.
Yeah, it was just 18-month checkup.
Just before 2 years.
Yeah. Came back in and said, I'm flagging your kids for autism, and walked out of the room. And we were like, what just happened? We were in shock. We looked at each other, and I just couldn't believe it. And we left. We went home. They contacted us. They said, we're going to push him through because we're going to say he has a neurological issue so he can get some services quickly. and then we got referred to early intervention.
That's good that you got that early.
We got it early, and when they started coming to the house, they realized that my daughter, his twin, was not on the spectrum, and they said, you guys need to split the twins up. And we found a kindergarten school that accepted kids with, what's the right word? Developmental delay.
Learning disabilities.
Yeah. So we started our daughter there, and she started talking, and she started speaking a little bit more at 3, and we were like, okay, they were right. And then we realized the difference in the development of the twins. Then we were ready to start ABA, and they got us referred to the Lovaas Center. And it happened the day after he turned 3, we started our new team. So we had one team exit literally the next day. Our new team came.
Very lucky.
And it was just literally just a transition that we were so grateful for today.
That's great.
Yes, and our instructor, Sam Hassa, she put our team together. And from there we've been building it, and seeing the transition for Alec was incredible, because we were told that he had apraxia, that he was had a diagnosis of autism. The doctor that did the diagnosis was so lovely and welcoming, and she let me talk to her, and she said, this is what you need to do. Come Lovaas. The first day when we came in, our supervisor Mary came in, put him in a chair, put him at a table. He cried for quite some time, didn't understand compliance, didn't know he had to do that. When she got him to sit down about an hour later, I came home, he was sitting in the chair, she was talking with him, she gave him his evaluation, came back and said, okay, here's our game plan. And Sam came in and said, okay, here's another tutor, and it started. And then the hours grew, and as the hours grew, we realized this is working out.
And they prep you for it being bad off the bat. They tell you there's going to be a lot of crying. Don't stop it. Suck it up. They're going to live.
Yeah.
Let
Yes.
it happen.
Yes.
I actually thought it wasn't really that bad. I think a lot of people go through a lot worse experiences.
True,
He was
but
not that
because we were trained from early intervention.
Right.
If we didn't have that part of the puzzle,
bad. Well,
oh
that's
no.
the key. And everybody will tell you,
It
hit
would've
it
been a lot
early.
harder.
Hit it early. If you
Yeah.
can hit it at 2,
Yeah.
it's a huge, huge difference.
Yes. So after experiencing all that, seeing the hours grow, the team grew, then being able to just have my son look at me, I came out of the bathroom and he looked at me and I said, hi, Alec. And he smiled and I said, I'm mommy. And I got on my knees. I get a little teary-eyed on this. And I said, hi. I go, mommy. And he looked at me and smiled, and I looked at Sam and I said, thank you. Thank you for giving me my son. And it was the best, because I thought, okay, this is something small, but now it's going to get better and better. And then we got excited about learning about ABA. And then I said, okay, I'm going to start sitting on these sessions. I'm going to watch on a baby monitor. I'm going to listen to the way they talk to him. I'm going to learn this so that I can bring it home to my family. And we did. And then this guy turned it up the last year, and he's all over Alec, and it's been awesome because now we have compliance with him. It's not scary to take your kid out, because now we're like, okay, we can tag team each other. I'm like, you know what, if he's having this, I jump in. If something, then I go to him. I'm like, you know what, he's yours now. And it really, really helped. It's changed our life. My daughter, his twin, she tells Alec, come here, do this, Alec. Her girlfriends come over.
She's actually the younger twin, but she doesn't know it.
By 2 minutes.
She's the boss. She
Yeah.
is the boss. She
She's
is
the boss, and all her
And
girlfriends
she's
come
great
in,
for him.
and they ABA Alec. They're like, Alec, no, look at me, do this. And he just, now we have this little girl crew at the school, and it's made a huge difference. And I gotta say, when you sit with the parenting and in agreement of how we do things, if we didn't agree on this, no way. We would have marital issues. This is so true, because it's hard. It's hard to know that.
It's a
what you
whole
experience.
different world if you're not in it. It's hard to.
Yeah.
You don't really understand it if you're not. It's amazing.
It really is, and I think if you can bridge what they're doing and bring it into the life and bring it into the home and listen to these tutors and take what they say seriously and realize these are young people, that you're like, well, how are you telling me how to parent my kid when you're in your 20s and you don't have a child? But then you realize, no, you know, they're bringing something valuable. They're setting a foundation. We bridge it over here. We learn from these young people. We give them the respect that they deserve, because look what they're giving me. They're giving me my child. And for that, I listen. For that, I care. And for that, I pay attention. And whatever I can do to facilitate it to make it better, I'm all in. And he's the same way. So we're doing it.
Thank you, you guys.
Just staying
Yes.
on them and being one.
I call you guys the boss.
all the
You guys are
time.
the boss.
Right.
It wouldn't. They're great people, but she makes it happen.
Yeah. Well, and they're like my kids. I mean, it's like a family. You grow together. You accept each other, and we fight. And I say, tell me I'm wrong. Please tell me I'm wrong, because I want you to fight with me, because I want to hear what you really have to say. And when they're wrong, I'm like, bring it. I said, you know what? You don't have enough SD control over my son. Don't do that. I'm not the one, because I pay attention. I said, bring up your skill level, and this will work out better, and my son won't do this to you. So it's a nice back and forth. And I don't want it to be
So
perfect.
you have good communication with
Yes,
the team.
I don't
You're
want it to
very
be
hands-on.
perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want it to. I want them to say, I don't like this, you're doing this, please, because let's have a back and forth, because that's how we grow. And I always tell them, be constructive with you, don't take it personal. I love you, I respect what you're doing to my kid, but let's talk. And if I overstep my boundary, tell me. So it's been blessed. I mean, it's really, we couldn't ask for more.
You've got a great team.
Very, very much so.
And thank you for being such a
Yeah.
great parent advocate as well.
Yeah. Well. Thank you for coming into our life
Right.
and doing this and marrying everybody. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's
Yeah.
amazing how certain things have just fallen in. You
Yeah.
lose someone, you go, oh my gosh, this person's so great, and then lo and
God always
behold,
provides.
somebody-
I always tell
yeah.
everybody He will provide on His time, and we don't like it, but we wait. And so far this team has been amazing.
And then, real quick, can you go over what you've seen his progress to be since you've started?
And the thing with Alec is he didn't need to talk. He communicated without words. So it wasn't a must for him until he got involved with Elissa and she trained him, and then it all started coming together. But even though he wasn't verbal for the first, 4 years, he was not lacking anything. He'd, and we knew what he wanted, but it has given him confidence, and it's made an incredible change in him now, verbalizing, and it's music and the sounds, and it's a different kid, no doubt about it.
To review the workshop, which is once a month, where we get the team together, the supervisor comes in, they go through all the programs, parents get to watch to see how far the child's developed in each area. I gotta say, for me, seeing from day one, for my son to walk in, sit down in a chair, be compliant, and actually be able to read, write, and speak his desires was life-changing. All the hours, all the money, all the heartache, what you aspire you want your child to be, and it's different. And I always say I wouldn't change a thing, because he made us the parents we are, the family that we are. He's taught my daughter a lot of things I don't think I could have taught her, being the twin. She's learned compassion, and for such a young little girl to learn compassion has been incredible, because she's kind to her classmates and she's bridging that over to school. So at first I was like, wow, this is not what I expected it to be, but now I don't think I'd change a thing. I like it just the way it is, because I think we can be the people that we are, and he's made us better parents
Oh, no doubt
and a
about
better
that.
family because of who he is. And I would say to every parent, take that time to process the fact that it almost feels like a death, because it's not the child you envisioned them to be, but the new child that's born, it's better than what you would ever expect. I really feel that way. And I think,
Patience will be forced upon you, whether you have them or not.
yes, you
will
really
have
bring
them.
up your
You
parenting
will
skills
have
because
them.
of that. But workshop, that was the pivotal moment. Seeing everything, the growth, just cutting, just having, because of the apraxia, not being able to grab a pencil, not being able to write his name. And the first time I wrote his name, I was like, oh my God, look at this. Talking, picking up a book, and what did he do? He got his little iPad, and we were like, is he talking on the iPad and videoing himself reading? And he turned the
Oh,
page
yeah.
and start reading, and I was like,
Now he does videos, music videos of himself, and he
What did he
sets
do?
up scenes with his animals and verbalizes and
what did he
talks
do with
to
his
him.
guitar? That's a good story.
Oh, yeah, he sang the 12 Days of Christmas, and he set up the camera over there, and when he was done, he just threw the guitar
Like a musician.
like a rock star.
Yeah.
Excellent.
And,
Yeah. Almost hit his sister and his brother.
that's definitely, music is his thing. We
That
take him in for
video
some
we'll have to share
lessons.
with you.
Yes. that would be
Yeah,
great.
and we were shocked. We're like, how does he know that? So he's so smart. He wants to learn, and wow, what a difference! What a new kid, a totally different kid.
Yeah, he's made some
Yeah.
improvement, and so have you guys as well.
Well, and
a
it's
learning
occupational.
We've
I
grown.
mean, when he
Oh, yeah.
first started
Everything.
occupational therapy, I mean, it was everything to get a beanbag into a little hole. I mean, it was huge. Now he's flipping in the trampoline. He's running around the track. He's
a little show
swimming.
off.
He's riding skateboards. He's roller skating.
Scooter, guitar, ukulele,
it's
drums,
amazing.
piano.
It's amazing.
I mean, he's with the sports social. His dad takes him on those lessons twice a week, and
That's
it's just he's just this kid is like, who are you? And really, when we think about it developmentally, God, in such a short time, right? Because he's only been on the earth for 7 years, and he's made such strides in
Well, and that's the
2 years, 3 years.
The key in everybody, and and everybody knows early. When you're at sports social, where you see a lot of the older kids, that's what really gets to me, because you can tell the kids that never had anything for 8, 9, 10 years. That's tough.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it is tough. And we know that sports social is a place like a YMCA, but for kids with learning disabilities, and these instructors come in and bridge. Parent wants their kid to, I don't know, bounce a basketball. And because of having that ABA background and sitting there and going, okay, do this, bounce the ball, and showing them how to do it, it may seem like something to another family, just an everyday occurrence, but when you see your kid do that you didn't think would run or climb and bounce a ball and laugh, it's everything. It's like going to take a picture with Santa. Our community, we can't normally do that. So when you see that moment and you say, oh gosh, you got to sit down in front of Santa, it's like life-changing. Because 2 years ago, we wouldn't even dream to walk out of the house to do that because we were so afraid. What do we do if he has, a behavioral issue? How do we do this? Well, this is where ABA comes in. We need to talk to him. This is where you come in. So the bridging of these two businesses is life-changing, because the whole point is we want to put this kid into the world, give him all the foundation, like you said, early. It's all about it. Yeah, so we're lucky.